What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So before I go further in this video, I want to give a shout out to Aram for showing love to this channel, for contributing to this channel. Much respect to you, Aram. He's a fan of the basketball content on this channel. Um, he's probably become my most frequent contributor. So, you know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing but show love and praise to him. Um, but then again, you know what I'm saying? I want to show love for everybody that contributes to this channel, even if it's not through those means, even if it's just comments or whether it's just, you know, um, positive encouragement or whatever. And also want to show love to those who sign up to the Patreon. I just put up 2 videos on the Patreon today. We'll put out some other videos probably tomorrow on the Patreon. All right, so the big news, of course, I woke up to it. I knew the Warriors won last night, but I didn't know that Steph Curry had a career performance. He dropped a career high of 62 points in a victory against the Portland Trailblazers. They're now 500. All right. And last night, Curry shot 18 of 31 from the floor, including 8 of 16 from 3-point range and 18 of 19 from the foul line. The thing that really impresses me this year about Curry is, I think, his free throw shooting. I think this year he's shooting about 98% from the foul line for his career. I believe he's a 90.6% career free throw shooter, which is #1 all time in NBA history. So I've never questioned Curry's skills. What I was questioning and what Ticket TV was questioning, what other people were questioning, is his effort. Okay? This is a team that does not have the luxury of Kevin Durant anymore. This is a team that doesn't have the luxury of a Klay Thompson anymore. You can't depend on Draymond Green because, as I said before, even though I had people question what I was saying, Draymond Green is not the type of player that can really help you offensively. The little role that he had, which was a unique role for the Warriors team, this created role, that overglorified him and had people thinking he was more than what he was. Now you see over the last couple of years what he really is. Okay, is the most overpaid $100 million man in sports, and Steve Kerr is a terrible coach. So it's up to Steph Curry, being the best player on his team. He has to step up and carry this team this year. Okay, he has to do it. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about. Larry Bird, 1987-88. Larry Bird stepped up offensively for the team that year, more so than he had in years prior. That year, he averaged 30 points per game. In prior seasons, he averaged more around the 24, 25 points per game range. You know, why did he step it up offensively that year? Not that they were terrible, but Kevin McHale, after suffering that foot injury in '87, wasn't the same player anymore after '87. Robert Parrish, by that time, Robert Parrish was in his mid-30s. He was starting to get older. Bill Walton was finished. Okay, their bench wasn't the same. So he had to step it up offensively. All right. They made it all the way to the conference finals, but they lost to the Detroit Pistons. But Bird had to step up because he knew he was the leader of the team. He had to step up. Michael Jordan, when Scottie Pippen was out those first, what was the first 38 games of the regular season with the foot injury, and then the whatever you want to say slash, um, you know, fight with management over money, or whatever, or holdout. Jordan had to take on not only the scoring role, excuse me, that he had, you know, taken on since he came back, but he also had to take on some other duties. He had to be more of a playmaker. He had to run the offense more. He took on a huge role, and as an effect of that, and as a result of that, his shooting percentages suffered. But that's a side effect. That's a acceptable side effect of what you gotta do when you have to take on that added burden. But you gotta be great. You gotta be a leader. You have to show some aggression. You gotta show that you fucking care. Basically, that's all we're saying. Steph Curry, you gotta show like you care. You gotta step it up, man. That's what you gotta do. And but some reason when we say this, it gets taken as, oh, we hate. All we said was more. Just do more. And if it wasn't for Ticket TV's criticism or my criticism, other people's criticism, Curry still would be doing the same thing he was doing before, which is kind of playing passive. Because you're not gonna rely on Andrew Wiggins or any other people I said, or Wiseman or other new guys. They're not gonna they're not consider. It's Curry, okay? You keep telling us that Steph Curry is the second greatest point guard of all time. All right. Well, then if he's that great, and I saw Magic Johnson and I saw Isaiah Thomas, I expect more than what we were seeing before last night. Now, if we consistently see that Curry that we saw last night, then okay, I'm with you then. Okay, maybe he is that great, but we got to see that. That's all we were saying. But you know what it is? And I'm gonna be real rough in this fucking video. I don't give a fuck because you know what? Y'all like to talk greasy to me, okay? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people, a lot of these dudes that don't demand anything out of Curry, a lot of them have that nigga mentality any fucking. Always got excuses, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when I mean by nigga mentality, I'm talking about these type of dudes that always got an excuse for why they struggling in life. Always blaming it on the white man or always blaming it on this or that, blaming it on a woman. She ruined my confidence. Nigga, get your ass up out there and try, motherfucker. The same niggas that, you know what I'm saying, they think paying child support is like some badge of honor, like they doing something. Well, how about you actually try to get involved in your child's life rather than just sending out a paycheck? I remember when I was a kid, right? It used to be like these bums. And when I say bums, they were working, but they were bums in my opinion because these motherfuckers was bragging about how many kids they had. Yeah, shit, man, I got 7 kids. Yeah, you got. Well, yeah, I got 8 kids. One of them died though. I ain't say it with no type of of remorse or whatever. And they talking about how much they pay in child support. Like y'all some fucking bum ass motherfuckers. A check, nigga. Look, I get it. I understand that every relationship doesn't work and that it does result in the child support situation. But if you got 8, 9 kids and you're not involved in any of their lives, you're just a sperm donor. But the point that I'm trying to make is this: responsibility. That's a word that seems to be lost in the lexicon of today's world. When we say that Steph Curry is responsible as the leader of that team to do more, to expect more for someone who is praised a lot. A lot of motherfuckers want all the praise, but they don't want the responsibility of shit. They want all of the respect of being a leader, but they don't want the responsibility of being a leader. That's not how it fucking works. And that's pretty much the root of it. I don't care who's feeling hurt. So, with that being said, Steph Curry still, in my eyes, is not better than Allen Iverson, okay? Because he dropped his 60-point game. You gotta remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think AI had I believe, 3 50-point games in the playoffs, and I believe he's somewhere in the top 5 or 6 in all-time 50-point games, and he did it in an era. I think he has around 15 50-point games, somewhere in that vicinity. I think only Wilt, Jordan, uh, Kobe, Harden, um, outside of those guys, he might be fifth. He's somewhere in that range. Elgin Baylor might be ahead of him, Rick Barry, but he's somewhere in that top 6 or 7. But anyway, the thing that makes Allen Iverson so amazing, like I keep saying before, is he did that in one of the worst scoring eras ever, which is the late '90s, going into the mid 2000s, when the average score per team was around 93, 94 points a game. So it was not a high scoring era. For him to be able to do what he did in his era is remarkable, which is why I said I can only imagine what he could do in this era. Because even when they began to open the game up after 2005, the 2005-2006 season, Allen Iverson averaged 33 points a game when he was 30 years old. And he shot 45% from the floor that year. So I can only imagine him playing in today's league where the average score is 113 points a game, 112 points a game. That one season where I said they start opening things up, the league average was 97 points a game. So it was only up 4 points from 93. Now you're talking about averaging more, almost 20 points more. Yeah, I can see AI averaging what James Harden averages. Easy, easy. But when you're talking to people that don't really know the history of the game, you know, they're the detriment. So all I'm gonna say is this, man. Congratulations to Steph Curry for his performance. It's one great game. We need aggression from him the entire season, but other guys got to step up. Draymond Green needs to score more than one fucking point. I'm sorry, this motherfucker's overpaid. This nigga getting paid $100 million to average so far zero point 0.5 points per game this season. Okay, that's an atrocity. They need to move this motherfucker. But at this point, I don't know if anybody wants him. I don't think anybody wants him anymore. For what? Why would you take that contract on? It's the worst contract in sports. Oh, yeah, 8 assists. The fuck is that, man? Scott Skiles averaged 8 assists one year, 8.5 assists one year. Does that mean Scott Skiles is being on the Hall of Fame? And Draymond's not going to average that. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope Curry is more aggressive from now on. You're going to have bad games. That's not the point. Just show, you know what I'm saying? You just got to show effort, man. You got to step it up. Nate Tiny Archibald, one of the greatest little men of all time, 1972-73. I believe that team had some injuries that year. He stepped it up. Okay, that year he averaged 34 points and 11 assists. Okay, all-time great players when their teams are dealing with injuries or they're dealing with maybe something like a rebuilding process. That's what happens. Okay, shit. Honestly, when Jordan averaged 37 and 87, they were sort of in a rebuilding process then again because they got rid of all of those older guys, the Sydney, the Orlando Woolridges and George Gervin was let go. They really kind of was rebuilding the team then. So that's one of the reasons why Jordan was scoring so much that year because he really didn't have anybody on the team that could score once they got rid of everybody. But people don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got to say, man. Tell me what you guys think.